How's it going, everyone? We got Devin here, who got second place in our Digimon tournament. We had 17 players today. Okay, and he got second place with the Imperiadramon, and he will walk us through that.
Yeah, so I got second place in the Imperiadramon Blue, and see what I ran. So I ran 4 Digimon as well as the 1 Upa. I like running the full 5 rookies just in case the game goes long, and it definitely does sometimes. Cool. So then for rookies, we've got 4 Vmon, jamming Vmon, standard, helps you go fast, put on aggression. Then I run 4 Gomamon, 3 Elecmons. I don't max out the vanillas. I like running the 3 Gabumons on top of that just to have a bit more longevity to dig towards your Blue Imperial because you need that to close out games a lot of the time. But I don't want to max these out because you still need to be relatively efficient with the amount of rookies you have. So I like the 7-3 split. And that's all the rookies. That's 14. Next up is champions. For Gorilla, pretty standard. I like being able to go up my chain efficiently. 3 Frigi. He's pretty good. He just gets hard stopped by blockers, so that's why I don't really like maxing him out. But he's still nice to get your Demi V triggers, and hard casting for 4 is nice as well. Also, it's nice to restand him. When you get an X-Vmon Digivolution trigger, also works on the Vmon, pushes lethal sometimes, gets extra swings out of nowhere, close out games, but I don't want to max out on him. Same reason as Frigi, he just doesn't do stuff some of the time. And then I do go 3 blockers, 3 Grizzlymons, just for the mirror and as well as the Rookie Rush matchup. The 6k body just helps slow down the game. And if you have a pretty fast start, like let's say you have a Vmon or a Frigimon and they're swinging out, you can like protect your Frigimon or your health with the blocker, and I just think that's useful.
Do you see saying 3-3-3 is a good ratio for you?
Yeah, I'm liking these ratios pretty solidly. Like I said, I like maxing out the Gorillas.
Oh yeah, and 4.
I do like maxing out the Gorillas because the efficiency is just so important, especially because I am on the Omnimon. So I like the ability to go build up to that Omnimon faster. If I was like off Omnimon, I would consider going down Gorillas and maybe play more other stuff. But I'm pretty comfortable with these ratios. I mean, they're obviously flexible on the meta. If you want to be more aggressive, you maybe play some more of these and you cut the blockers. But I definitely like the blockers again for the mirror and the Rookie Rush matchup for sure. So pretty happy with it right now. But definitely can tailor to the meta, your local meta, and what you're seeing around. And then for level 5s, standard, 3 pale or 4 pale, 4 Dino B. They're good, but you need them to go into Imperial for cheap. And then also standard, the 4 Imperial. It's your boss monster. You really want to dig for it. Again, that's why I'm running the Gabumons. And then 2 Omnimons. Great removal, helps deal with like a big Ragna on board with like blocker under it, so that Imperial couldn't get through. Also can multi-attack, swing out for games. So pretty nice. I like it too. You can maybe go down 1, but I like having removal.
It's really good on those situations where after your Imperiadramon's done its job, you're just kind of like, man, you know there's a threat coming and you need something to get rid of it before they just go into into their 6 or into their 7s, right?
Yeah, it's pretty rough sometimes because if you have an Imperial with a Pale under it, like you really feel kind of bad because you like lose the extra swing with the Pale. I mean, you still get 2 swings, but only once. But like in that last game, I was up against security control, and I had to go on my Omni to clear their board, or else they would kill me. But then like it just kind of stuck around. It only got through 1 swing, and that was literally the game. I had an Omni, and he had 1 security, and if hypothetically I didn't have to clear the board with the Omnimon, I could swing extra with Imperial. Like it would have made the difference. But yeah, sometimes you need removal. I needed removal there, else I would have lost. So it's useful. It's just you'd rather stay on, for this specific stack, you'd rather stay on Imperial. But if it's like on top of Dynamite, you don't care. Just go for it, you know. But totally true. And then for Tamers, 3 Davis, pretty standard. I feel like I see him enough. I don't feel like it's necessary to go up to 4. And then again, standard 4 Hammer Sparks. And then actually I failed to comment for champions. For level 4s, I'm actually running 13 instead of the standard 12 because I do like having extra level 4s. I feel like it just makes the deck go faster. And I'm running 2 Kakaia's Breath for more removal, again to deal with like those big things with blockers. Great off security. And yeah, it's just really helpful sometimes. Before I had a green Imperial and then 2 puppets, and I took it out for the extra level 4 and then these 2. And I think it works out. Like the puppets, I don't feel like helps out in too many matchups. Definitely good in the green Ceres matchup, but not super happy within a lot of others. And I feel like Hikaya's breath is more generically useful. Less hits for the Davis, but I think I'm fine with that.
We're used to usually seeing the Kycotus and the puppet versus the Omnimon in the mix because Imperiadramons are usually a reasonably competitive and affordable deck for our locals here.
Yeah.
And usually Omnimon's the last, if not on the checklist of getting further deck. That's why it was interesting to see that you actually run 2 Omnimons here. It's like my build actually runs 2 Omnimons as well.
Yeah.
I was considering between the Puppetmon and the Kycotus. Like I was leaning towards Puppetmon more, just for more Digimon options. But the Kycotus, it's like both Kycotus and Omnimon are like one in the same with several different properties. Like,
Yeah, no, totally, 100% agree. Obviously, the difference is Kakai's you can just drop from your hand, and Omni, there's a condition there, right? Mm-hmm. So I like having the option of like, oh crap, something bad is going on, I need to get rid of it, right? Like against Megazoo, you don't always have the line all the way up to Imperial, and in that case, like Kakai's Breath is the thing to slow them down. Like again with a Ragna with a blocker under it. Maybe they can still have the Ragna, but maybe they won't have the blocker, the Briarweed Ludramon to give a blocker. So I do like having the multiple removal options. This is a lot more removal heavy, like you said. A lot of people don't run both the Omnimons as well as the Kakai's Breath, but I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm running.
Any modifications you'd like to make afterwards, or you're pretty much content with what it is?
I'm pretty happy where it is. I mean, the level 4s are again where you kind of have the room to kind of fiddle-faddle around, but I'm pretty happy with what I'm on. A lot of people are in Positron Laser. I've yet to test it out, so maybe if I do some testing with that, I might run that over Kakai's Breath because that's insane in security. But personally, I like having stuff that I can cast from my hand, and I don't want to see a super dead card. Like Kakai's Breath, you don't feel super happy about, but like it's something, right? Like you can reasonably cast it if you really need to. So that's how I feel. I'm pretty happy with it as of current.
Any matchups gave you any problems? Minus the fact that you lost your last match.
Well, yeah, the last match was against Security Control, and it was my first time playing against the deck, but I think I was playing it right. Something to keep in mind is I think you need to hard cast all your things that they deem as threats. So your Imperiadramons, your Dino Beamons, you don't want to Digivolve up into them. You need to like go as wide as possible to force them to use all their removal. But it went 2-1. It was extremely close. Maybe I could learn the matchup a bit better with more games, but that one was pretty difficult. But everything else is pretty fine. You're worried about Ragna's with a blocker under it, either Ragna or Megazoo. But that's why I run the Kakai's Breath. I didn't run up against that today, but I did beat it last week when I went up against that. So I feel like the matchup spreads are pretty solid overall. Yeah. So maybe I don't know the McDonald's control matchup, like how that shakes out, but I could see it losing that. But hard to say. It's a tough deck to play against, for sure.
Now, seeing with our format's pretty diverse, right? For the most part, from what I can recall.
Yeah, I actually today went up against Sarah Screen twice, same person twice, and I won both. We played some friendlies and I lost those. That deck can definitely win, but they have to kind of get the nuts. And just by the nature of being an aggro deck that's pretty fast and consistent, it kind of preys upon that inconsistency. So if he just slipped up a little bit, took a little while to draw the line he needed, I could capitalize and put aggression on. So I won that match 2-0 twice, so that was pretty fine. And then what was the other match? I can't remember. My bad. But it was Red Ragna. And I think I just dealt with that. I went fast. So that I was able to out aggro them. And then whenever they did slam a big mega with like blocker under it, I used Kakai's Breath and got rid of it. And it just set them back too much. So
have you ever had any problems with like black decks, like Black Ragna and stuff? Anything with like blockers?
Yeah. No, those are definitely difficult. Like a Ragna with a blocker under it. Again, that's why that's rough. Your Puro can't get through that. That's why you run the Omnimons and Kakai's Breath. If you don't see those, you're in a pretty bad spot, but you have the ability to out aggro them, right? If they don't draw the line perfectly, right, you can get some chip in, and even if they build up the Ragna line eventually, if you go wide enough, right, it's only one blocker. So you either out aggro them early game, and so that you can get the chip in later game, or you draw the removal for the Ragna when it comes up, and you hope that they can't go back up into it. I mean, there's always the chance that they have the line twice, but I mean that's why removal against Ragna is good, because they don't always have the perfect line multiple times. So yeah, it might be a losing matchup. But I played some friendlies with the guy after as well, and I didn't lose a game. But I think he did misplay a bit, so it could have been a lot closer, I think. So yeah.
Any shout outs you want to give out?
No, just shout out to some of my friends that I play with, Thomas and Malachi. Good practice partners. Like to grind games with them, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your deck profile. Yeah, it's nice to actually see, again, as I mentioned, my Imperiadramon does run 2 Amis. I was debating between the Puppetmon and the Kaiko's Breath. You made a pretty solid reason why you chose one over the other. I might even, take a sample off that and try it myself.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Hope to see you next week.
Of course, and thanks for holding the tournament. It's much appreciated.
All right, and for everyone out there watching, don't forget to click like and subscribe. We're going to try to have more Digimon content, not just that, but Final Fantasy and other card games and whatnot. So catch you guys next time.